morning, everybody. Happy Thursday. How is everybody? Have you all had a good week so far? Apologies, this lighting is terrible. I have to turn the light out behind me, otherwise it flickers on the camera. So it's not actually dark. It just looks like I'm in a cave. But I need to get these dishes washed up, so I thought we'd have a little bit of a wee chat whilst I washed these dishes that I didn't wash up last night, and nobody else washed them up either. So I'm here trying to chisel lasagna off of these plates and bowls. I could put them in the dishwasher, but me and that dishwasher don't get on, just the same as me and that tumble dryer don't get on. I had the tumble dryer man out yesterday morning, but let's start with Monday. Let's have a catch up on how my week's been. If anyone's interested, probably not, but we'll do it anyway. I haven't done a vlog because I just started this vlog a minute ago and then looked at the camera and went, who is going to watch this? Who wants to see a mum stood at the kitchen sink washing dishes, moaning about her week? Who even wants to watch that? But here we are. I've started again and realised I don't have anything else to give. There is no other content. So it's going to be me stood at the sink washing dishes, which my family could have washed but didn't, moaning about life and the seasonal slump that she's in. And that's the truth. I am well and truly in the seasonal slump. I am so desperate and in need of some natural sunlight and some warmth. It has not got above 4 degrees all week, and we haven't had any sunlight for days and days and days. So that is making me feel pretty rubbish, and there's just not a great deal going on. I get up every day, I try and get all of like the girls' learning done in the morning, and then try and find something to do in the afternoon, but there's just not really a lot to do at the moment, which doesn't involve spending money, because neither me nor them want to go out for like walks and stuff or to the park when it's flipping freezing. So we've been at home pretty much all week, apart from Monday we went to home ed group, and that was I thought it was a rabbit behind me, but it's Sienna. I could hear like a noise. I know the rabbit's in the house, but it's not, it's Sienna. We went to home ed group, and it was Valentine's theme. So the girls really enjoyed that. They made some jam tarts, and I think it's over there on the shelf, I don't know if you can see it, a love monster. I say the girls, I made that love monster because Sienna lost interest. So I just continued. And then what else did we do? We made some friendship bracelets and all of that sort of stuff. And I started to get the worst migraine. I said to Kev, I said, God, my head is absolutely pounding. I feel rubbish. So we got home, and I was at that point where the light was hurting my eyes. And I was like, I just need to take some ibuprofen and go and have a lie down for a little bit. So I did that. And then I woke up Tuesday morning and the weather was still naff. And we were supposed to be going to farm school, and I cried off. I cried off because I was feeling rubbish, the weather was freezing, and I thought, do I want to spend 3 hours stood on Exmoor when I already have a headache in the cold? And the answer was no. So we didn't go to farm school. We did, however, go to Home Bargains. So I've got a wee bit of Home Bargains to show you, not a lot. I went over in the hope that I might get that lamp. So a few people messaged me to say the lamp was online. It's not the same one. So there's a one with a rounded base, which, to be fair, that one's nice as well. But the one that I was looking for has got like a longer, thinner base. But I couldn't get it. It still wasn't there. So I've got a couple of other bits I'll show you in a second. Nothing exciting. And then Tuesday night, Kev snored all night. And it didn't matter how much I shoved him and I kicked him and I said, roll over, lie on your side. He still snored all night, to the point where I got barely any sleep. So yesterday I was so grumpy, and I had to be up at like 7 o'clock, up, dressed and ready for the tumble dryer man. So he came out and he said because the tumble dryer has gone wrong more than once, they're going to replace the parts. So he said, I'll order you the parts now. And then he said, one of the parts you need is in Italy. I was like, brilliant. So no idea how long it's going to take for them to get these parts, and then how long it's going to take for those parts to be brought to my house and the tumble dryer to be fixed. But he tweaked it and made it work for now. So I don't know how long it's going to work for, but currently it's working. So it's in the hallway still. I said to Kev last night, I was like, I dare not move it. Because what if we move it and it stops working? Just leave it exactly where it is in the middle of the hallway. And then I just spent all day washing, drying, until after dinner last night, when we popped out to go outdoors to get some birthday presents for Riley. So it's Riley's birthday on Monday, and it is so difficult to organise doing things with older children when you don't get to, like when they're once they're in secondary school and you don't get to see the parents. So a couple of his friends he's inviting are from primary school, so I've messaged their parents and said, you know, are they free to go and do this on Saturday night? And then there's a couple more that I don't know who the parents are. So I said to Riley yesterday, can you get the phone numbers of the mums of these boys that you want to come to your birthday so that I can call them and arrange it? And he's like, yeah, okay. Comes home from school yesterday. I'm like, did you get the numbers I needed? Oh, it's all right, it's fine, they'll be fine, just pick them up at this time. And I'm thinking, if you came home to me and you said, so-and-so's parent, who you've never met before in your life, is going to pick me up at this time and take me out for the evening, I'd be like, no, I need to speak to that parent. So we're supposed to be going to the trampoline park on Saturday night, but so far I still haven't managed to make contact with two of the boys' mums to get it arranged. But we did pop out and buy him some birthday presents. So he's asked for fishing stuff. He used to have a little fishing rod when he was much younger, and he used to enjoy going down onto the canal catching fish. And he's asked if he can have a new fishing rod and start doing that again. So we went to go outdoors and bought him this new fishing rod and some new bits and bobs. And got home and Kev said, oh, I'll just leave it in the boot of the car, so I'll get it out tomorrow. And I was like, yeah, all right. And then Reese and Riley were going up to the gym, and Reese said, Mum, can you give me and Riley a lift up to the gym? So I was like, yeah, all right. We get in the car, Riley gets in the back, I look in the mirror and I think, oh my gosh, he's literally sat underneath this fishing rod that is going above his head. It was all of about 2 inches from touching the top of his head. And never have I been more grateful that teenagers sit with their faces in their phones 24/7. You know, every waking minute, unless they're eating or sleeping, they have their face in their phone. So he sat there in the back of the car. I'm looking in the mirror thinking, what am I going to say? What am I going to say is trying to think, what can I say this pole above his head, because it's in a bag, so you couldn't see it was a fishing rod. I was thinking, what can I say? What can I say it is? What can I say it is? What can I say it is? And in the end, we pulled up at the shop. Riley and Reese got out because they were going to go and grab a drink before going into the gym, and Riley trapped his seatbelt in the car door. And I thought, damn, I can't ask him to come back to the car and sort the seatbelt out, because he's definitely then going to see this pole above his head, or that's been above his head. So I was like, Reese, sort that door out, will you? Your brother's left it open. And I could see Reese looking at me as if to say, why are you not asking him to do it? Anyway, Reese came to the door and I was like, his fishing rod is right there above his head. And me and Reese were just wetting ourselves. Like, how could he not have seen it? He was in the car the whole drive up to the blooming shop, and he did not even notice this great big pole that was no more than 2 inches above his head, because his head was firmly in his phone. But anyway, I got back, got them off, and I was like, do you know what? I'm going to bed. I am so tired from having no sleep the night before. I'm going to go to bed. And then woke up this morning, and not one single person in my house has done anything in the kitchen. So I've got all of these dishes to do, including the breakfast dishes, and it's just not even fair. It's just not even fair. But let me finish washing these up, and then I'll show you the couple of bits I got from Good Old Home Bargains. I got a couple of bits for like spring, and then just a couple of like boring usuals. So the first thing I got was this spring type window box. This was £5.99, and I just thought that was sweet, and I would put it in the kitchen window to cheer up the kitchen. I then got, lo and behold, another mug for my mug shelves. So I have now got autumn mugs, Christmas mugs and spring mugs. I finally got myself a bit of a collection for those seasons. And then I guess, I don't know, what do you do in the summer? Maybe there'll be nice summery mugs in the summertime, but I do quite like a cute little mug on the shelf. Again, it just brightens up the kitchen. Also, I picked these up in Primark the other day. These were £2 each. So they are also on my mug shelf, and it's looking nice. It's looking bright. And then boring things, I picked up some more hair dye. I thought I'd picked up semi-permanent. I did pick up semi-permanent, and then I put it back and then picked up this one, which in my head I thought was semi-permanent because it says lasts up to 6 weeks, but it is in fact not. It is permanent. But I wanted to start using semi-permanent because my greys are growing through thick and fast. I still have to dye it every 6 weeks, regardless of whether I use a semi or a permanent. So to be less damaging, I wanted to swap to using semi-permanent, and also I'd love to get it a couple of shades lighter. Do not want to go back to blonde like I was a while back, because that was just so damaging. And it's, if you were watching our channel back when I did have blonde hair, it fully snapped my hair. I had like a whole section of like, it used to stick up here, and it just, yeah, it snapped. So I don't want to do that again, but I would like to get the colour build up out and move to semi-permanent, and then maybe have it done one colour but at a hairdresser's. Also desperate need of a cut at the moment. I got some heat protector spray. I think this was £3.50. Got some toothpaste. Got some toilet duck thingies. These were a new smell Virtual Violet limited edition. Also, this says limited edition. It's a Flora flower shop. Need this for cleaning my floor. And this elbow grease, I bought this because I need to clean the undersides of the cupboard, especially around where the air fryer is, because underneath the cupboards there, where the air fryer is, it gets really gross. So I thought this would be good for that. And also, where I stuck hooks to the fireplace to hang stockings at Christmas, there's still like black sticky residue, so I'm hoping that might take that off as well. It also says you can use it on clothing if you get grease on clothing and outdoor furniture, and yeah, thought I'd give it a go anyway. And I picked up some little chocolate hearts. I don't go all out for celebrating Valentine's Day for the kids. I definitely did a few years ago fall into that whole, like, everyone on social media is doing it, so I must do it. But I don't make a big deal. There's no wrong or right. Some people do, some people don't at all. But I'm not going to be here tomorrow on Valentine's Day. I'm going to the theatre with Summer. So Kev has the girls on his own, and I just thought what I might do is make them like a little lunch to have together. And I just thought those were cute. So I got those as well. And that is all I bought, apart from some toilet roll. I bought a big pack of toilet roll, and it came to £35. So the lamp that I'm looking for is £20. And every time I go to Home Bargains to look for that lamp, I end up spending more money. But anyway, that's what I got. I'm now going to attempt to make the girls a fake-away Costa toastie. So I mentioned this in my grocery haul last week, that I was sent a video of how to make the Costa toasties at home. So I'm going to give it a go. I'm going to try and do a fake away Costa lunch in the kitchen that I've only just cleaned. When the weather is giving you the seasonal blues, you turn into an absolute flipping pig. I just popped into town bumped into Summer in town, and then
I was being a pig.
I was parked in Morrison's. I was like, oh, I just want to go and get something to drink that's not squash, not Pepsi Max. I just really want something nice. So we went up the milkshake aisle where these were on offer. These are, if you've not tried this.
That's my first time trying them.
The real milkshakes is a Devon. I'm sure it says made in Devon.
Made in Dagenham.
If you've not tried them, they are absolutely epic. We've just walked in the door and I was like, Summer, we're actual pigs. We haven't even taken our coats off yet, but we've already made ourselves milkshakes.
I've made a matcha.
Summer has made matcha with white chocolate milkshake mixed into it. And I've got, these are the sprinkles you get on top of the Costa. I think it's one of the drinks that got discontinued.
I can't.
And don't read the calories. And Brooke brought home a whole tub of this, and it's just so yummy.
I read the wrong part. I was reading the KJ part. And
it
says
said
610.
Well, it's still not going to be great,
It's
but it makes me feel happy right now.
It makes me so happy.
I'm just eating my seasonal blues.
Eating? You mean drinking?
Drinking my seasonal blues. At least it's milkshake, not alcohol. But
you could be an alcoholic.
I need to put the dinner in. That's what I need to do. Pardon? What did she just say?
You could be having drugs.
You could be having drugs. Lovely.
Instead of milkshake.
Yeah, I mean, there's me like it could be worse. I could be drinking alcohol. And it's like, could be worse. You could be taking drugs. Just said I need to put the chicken in the oven for dinner. And then I came and sat on the sofa, of which Felicity then went upstairs and brought down my duvet because I was like, oh, I just want to sit here and just snuggle up and have a nap. This weather is making me feel so rubbish. And then I'm just sat here, like thinking about having just a little nanny nap, and realised I haven't even put the blooming dinner in the oven. So I'm going to go and do that now. And then I'm going to get back in that spot of the sofa, everybody's favourite spot. No, you are not. No. You can snuggle up with me, but that's my spot, isn't it? That is Mummy's spot. It's not actually my spot because I very, very rarely ever sit in the front room. Felicity is doing TikTok dancing. Also, Sienna got into this diamond art yesterday. She first of all made this little key ring, and then she started doing this unicorn thingy. She did that all herself yesterday. Just ignore that. Just ignore that. There's laundry everywhere. And then I remembered that I'd bought her one of these from TikTok shop at Christmas, and I'd opened it up and thought, oh no, Sienna ain't doing that. That's far too much. And then I got it back out yesterday because she was really enjoying it. She started it this morning. But yeah, I need to put in the dinner. Oh, this house is a mess. Everywhere I look, there's mess. I was just speaking to my friend on WhatsApp because we just voice note each other all day. Pretty much all day, every day, we voice note one another. And she was just saying, I swear my house was cleaner when the kids were younger. And I was like, yes! The same. My house was always so much tidier. So earlier on, after I'd cleaned the kitchen and then I made the girls lunch, Jamie and Brooke came in and then they were making stuff, and then I was like, why have I even bothered? But yeah, the house is just everywhere. It's just a flipping riot. But I got these reduced yesterday in Aldi, so it worked out. I don't actually know what the flavouring on them is because they helpfully stuck the 30% off sticker right over the top of it, but they were 30% off, and I worked out that the two chickens were just under £5 or just over £5 for the two. Pork and something onion, I reckon it's pork, sage and onion stuffed whole chickens. So yeah, it worked out they were like £5 for two, and they're just these ones that you cook in the bag. Do I just shove it in? Do I have to pierce the bag, or do I just throw it in the oven? Because I've not done one of these for years. Do not use if the bag is damaged. Always cook in a deep-sided roasting tin. Oh, I best find one of them. approximately 5 seconds. Make sure the bag does not touch the oven walls. Basically, yeah, just shove it in. Just shove it in. Happy days. That's nice and easy. But I came home with them. The point I was going to get at was, every single week I cook roast dinner. Every week. I know this is turning into a moan fest, but every single week I cook roast dinner, and then after I've cooked roast dinner, I either say, just leave all the dishes to me, I'll do it, I just rather it was done properly, or I say, I cook the dinner so you can all clean up. And they always do this, every time. The roast potato tray, just shove it back in the oven without washing it up. Every single blooming time. But yeah, this is turning into a moan fest, isn't it? I was going to say that I came home with these chickens yesterday afternoon, and Kev was a bit like, I don't really like chicken on the bone, and I was like, no, neither do I, which is why we very rarely buy chicken on the bone. I've said it on vlogs before, I don't like the smell of like a whole chicken cooking, but as I said to Kev last night, I was like, we really cannot afford to be being fussy. We are spending a small fortune every single week on grocery shopping. I always check all the dials are switched off when I turn the oven on, because often they'll get knocked, and then because I keep things on the cooker hood, if one of the knobs has been knocked on, and then I switch it on, and then next thing I've got a fire. But we can't afford to be fussy at the moment over buying food, because the cost of food is so high, and I didn't, as I've said, it's cost me a small fortune. I did a shop on Friday last week, and it was £180, and then obviously I bought these last night. I popped back and forth to the shop. I think if I was to add up our weekly spend on shopping, it's probably somewhere between £200 and £250 a week, so somewhere between like £800 and £1,000 a month, which is absolutely mental. So I said to Kev last night, no, I know we're not fans of chicken on the bone, but I didn't have a meal in the house for this evening, so I was going to have to go out and buy something today. So when I was in Aldi last night and saw those at that price, I was like, well, that will do. That will do, as we'll have that with some homemade coleslaw, some salad, and I've got some skin on fries as well, and I've got some couscous. So I'll have like couscous and salad, so will Brooke, so will Summer. But some of the, obviously the younger ones aren't so keen on couscous, so I'll do them some skin on fries. Just quickly went in there and told those two to stop blooming bickering over the television. I don't know if you could hear them, but I could. They were having a right little ding dong about the TV. Sienna wanted to watch a movie and Felicity was doing TikTok dances, so they were having a bit of a to-do over that, but they're quiet again now. Yesterday I felt a little bit sad over this whole cost of living thing, and I nearly picked up my phone and did a vlog about it, but didn't in the end, because I just don't want to come across as a bit of a moaning myrtle. But as I'm already there today, as I'm already doing that, let's go with it. I was feeling so annoyed with the world yesterday because Reese is going away overnight this weekend. Him and Bella are going to see a show and they're going to stay out overnight. It's Valentine's Day weekend, and you know, that's what they should be doing because they're young and it's Valentine's. But he was saying to me yesterday, he's like, I've booked a hotel and it's £120 for the night. And I was like, wow, that's expensive. Do you have breakfast included with that? And he was like, no breakfast. They wanted another 20 quid for breakfast. And I was like, oh gosh, that is expensive. And then he said, and then drinks are going to be like between £7 and £10 a drink. He's like, it's just going to be so expensive. And that just got me thinking and got me feeling a little bit down, because it's really, really sad that the teenagers, young adults of today are really up against it. Before they've even begun, they're up against it. You know, the cost of living is so high that they're instantly struck with that the second they go out there into the adult world, and it's just really, really unfair. So I was talking to Kev about it last night, and I was saying to him like that Reese had booked this hotel at £120, and Kev said like, why are they not just going to come home the same evening on the train. And I said, well, they could have done, but that's not the fun of Valentine's weekend. You know, they are young and they should be able to go out and spend a night in a hotel and have some drinks and see a show and enjoy being young adults. They've got no children, no massive bills. They should be able to enjoy these things in life, especially when he works, and he works full time in a very much adult job, earning an adult wage, and he's still saying to me, God, Mum, this is so expensive. And it just made me sad, because I said to Kev, the cost of the hotel, the cost of travel, going out for some drinks, getting something to eat, it's probably going to be about a quarter of his monthly wage for one night. And it's just so sad that this is the state that the UK is in for everybody. But for me as a mum, seeing my children, and like whenever your children are struggling with something or they're upset over something, you try to make it better. But there's nothing you can do in this situation. Like, I can't make the cost of living come down. God, I wish I could. But I remember when I was their age, or a little bit younger than them, I used to work in a job that paid me £600 a month. That was my wage. I worked full time and I got paid £600 a month. And I lived in a bedsit which had my bills included. So I'd pay £300 a month, so half of my wages, on basically my bills, my water, my electric, my gas, my house. It was, well, it wasn't a house, it was a bedsit. It was all included in that £300. So then I had the other half of my wages to buy some food and enjoy my life, you know, go out on the weekend and have a nice time. Whereas now we spend all of my wages, my whole wage pretty much a month, on just food alone. And it's crazy, it's absolutely crazy. And we're all in the same boat. Well, the majority of us are in the same boat. And it's just naff. So yeah, that's my little rant, another one of today. I'm going to go and sit in the corner of the sofa and snuggle up until Kev gets in from work, and then I try and make myself look like I've been busy. Not that he'd care less, but I always like to, you know, I always like him to think that I've been busy in my day, even though I definitely haven't today. Go to the gym tonight, but I also really don't want to carve up the chicken. So I'm going to the gym whilst Kev carves up the chicken, and then me and Kev will eat later on. So he's just eating, and Riley, because he's coming to the gym as well. So yeah, I was like, I don't want to go to the gym. I really don't want to go to the gym. And if it hadn't have been for the chicken, I would have definitely procrastinated and not gone to the gym. Also, I really need to buy myself and Riley gym water bottles, because I keep having to stop at the shop to get a drink.
Like squirty ones, you know, ones.
That is nice, but you've already drunk half of it and you haven't even got to the gym yet. And yeah, I keep going in the shop and buying like bottles of water before going to the gym, and that's expensive. So I do need to buy as a gym, not a gin. A gin bottle each. I'll take a gin. I'll take a gin over a gym any day of the week. So he hasn't actually told me this, but I'm pretty certain Riley didn't enjoy going to the gym with his mum and would much rather go with his dad or his brother. And the reason I say that is because he went to the toilet 3 times in an hour. And I don't think anyone needs to go to the toilet 3 times in an hour. But he did, and I think it's because when he goes with Kev or Reese, they do a lot more weights. So they're doing like sets of weights, and they spend a lot of time scrolling their phones between their sets, and that obviously suits Riley much better at almost 13 years old. And I go to the gym and I'm like boom, boom, boom through my cardio set. I do a little bit of the resistance machines, but not a great deal. They're always really busy. There's always loads of people on those. So I tend to just go through my cardio set. I do 15 minutes on the Stairmaster. And when I first started going to the gym, I could only manage 7 minutes. And then I got up to 20 minutes, but I started getting really big calf muscles, and I don't want great big fat calves. So I've lowered it to 15 minutes, and I tried to get to 50 floors in that time. I actually got to 55 floors today. So I do that, and then I go on to the rower, where I try to row 3,000 metres in 15 minutes. Today I did the 3,000 metres, but it took me 16 minutes. And then I go over onto the bikes, and I do a 15-minute cycle. I go on a sit down with the backrest bikes, and that's when I have a bit of a scroll on my phone. Or sometimes I do, because I've got my headphones in, sometimes I edit my vlog. And then I go on to the treadmill, where I do my last 15 minutes, and then if the resistance machines are free, I go on those. But Riley was like, on the rower, "This is really hard, Mum.
Please,
this is really
please,
hard."
save me.
What?
I have a massive spot on my lip.
Do you? Oh, they really hurt. Welcome to teenagehood. Riley said to me in the gym as well, he's like, "What is it with our family? Why have we all got really long bodies and really short legs?" I was like, "Oh, mate, this is..." What there? Right in the middle? Right on the top of your lip?
Right there.
Don't try and squeeze that. That's more like an ulcer than spot.
It's not going to be an ulcer on my lip.
Yeah, but I thought you meant like on my lip line. I can see it. It's
Right
massive. I thought you meant like right there on your lip. So yeah, he says,
bite it off.
"Why? No, you can't. Why have we got such short legs?" And I'm like, "I don't know, mate. I wish I knew, but I've not been able to buy like a set of pajamas in my entire adult life because
Is that why you always buy the trousers are way too big, but the top fits? No,
Well,
is
you
that why
can't
the top
buy-
is way too small, but the trousers are way too big?
Yeah, and that's the same with the girls. They pick up like outfits where it's a jumper and leggings, and I say I can't buy that because to get the jumper size that you need, the trousers will be about 5 inches too long. So I did go looking at clothes for Riley today, but there wasn't a lot about. You could do with some new clothes, you could do with some new joggers. But anyway, I was just saying you didn't really enjoy going to the gym with your mum, did you?
No, because you don't do any arms.
Didn't do arms, did I? Just killed him a bit.
All you do is cardio.
He was on the rower, and I was like, "Come on, Riley, you can at least get to 1,000 metres. You can do that." And he did. He did get to that. And then he went on the Stairmaster, walked about 3 steps, and then gave up.
No, I didn't give up. I went to the toilet.
Again. You went to the toilet again for the third time, right. And one of his nursery teachers was in there, and even she said, "I don't think he needs to go to the toilet that many times." Couldn't remember her name though, could you? I said, all that time and effort they put into your early years
Is that
at
on
school.
the metal hip?
No, that was Mrs.
Yeah,
Lamb.
I used to try and stick magnets to her hip.
Yeah. No, that was Mrs. Lamb. But she couldn't even remember her name. And I said, "Well, you put all this time and effort into their early years and you can't even remember their name." But anyway, I'm going to end today's vlog here because I think it's super long, and I will see you all, not tomorrow, because I don't think I'll have the vlog edited and up in time for tomorrow. So probably Saturday with mine and Summer's little trip to the theatre. And maybe to get Riley a couple more birthday presents. Maybe. We'll see.
There's a good fishing shop down there.
Good fishing shop is there? What, in Bristol High Street?
No, I just randomly guessed.
Right, thanks for watching, guys, and we will see you all on Saturday.